Welcome students to Standard 11 Chemistry by Sujata Miss, Fatima Convent High School. Unit 3, Classification of Elements and Periodicity in Properties. In the previous video we discussed Mendeleev's periodic law. In this video we'll be discussing Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev arranged elements in the horizontal rows and vertical columns of a table. Now you know what are rows and what are columns. You have studied in computer of a table in order of their increasing atomic weights in such a way that the elements with similar properties occupied the same vertical column or group. Mendeleev relied on the similarities in the empirical formula and properties of the compound formed by the elements. He realized that some of the elements did not fit in the scheme of classification if the order of the atomic weight was strictly followed. This is Mendeleev's periodic table. Here we have the vertical columns and here we have the horizontal rows. The vertical columns were also known as groups. Now here you can see the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses, and he grouped the elements of similar properties in the same group. Mendeleev ignored the order of atomic weights, thinking that the atomic measurements might be incorrect, and placed the elements with similar properties together. For example, iodine with lower atomic weight than that of tellurium, that is group 6, was placed in group 7 along with fluorine, chlorine, bromine because of similarity in properties. At the same time, keeping his primary aim of arranging the elements of similar properties in the same group, he proposed that some of the elements were still undiscovered and therefore left several gaps in the table. So he gave importance to similarities in properties for grouping compared to atomic weights. Also, he left spaces in his table for undiscovered elements. For example, both gallium and germanium were unknown at that time when Mendeleev published his periodic table. He left the gap under aluminium and a gap under silicon and called these elements as Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. Now Mendeleev predicted not only the existence of gallium and germanium but also described some of their general physical properties. These elements were discovered later, so his predictions were correct. Now here you have to remember this Eka aluminium was discovered as gallium and Eka silicon was discovered as germanium for MCQs or 1 mark question. Now here you can remember, this is just a way of memorizing. You can remember gallium has a A, so Eka aluminium is gallium, and germanium has a E, so I and E, so Eka silicon is germanium. Just a way of memorizing. Modern periodic law and the present form of the periodic table. Now when Mendeleev developed his periodic table, chemists knew nothing about the internal structure of atom. However, in the beginning of 20th century, developments in theories about the subatomic particles took place. Now here Henry Moseley observed irregularities in the characteristic X-ray spectra of the elements, and he plotted root nu versus Z. That is a plot of root nu where nu is the frequency of X-rays emitted against atomic number Z gave a straight line, and not the plot of root nu versus atomic mass. Now over here, this is asked as a 1 mark question regarding the plot, that is what versus what, and was it a straight line or not. Now the Mendele's periodic law was therefore accordingly modified, and this is known as modern periodic law. Statement, 1 mark question again, you have to remember it. The physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. So here we have atomic numbers. We'll be discussing regarding the modern periodic table in the next video. 3.4, nomenclature of elements with atomic numbers greater than 100. The naming of the new elements had been traditionally the privilege of the discoverer or the discoverers, and the suggested name was rectified by the IUPAC. That is, the discoverer had the right to name the new element, and it was the IUPAC who said yes to it. Here, IUPAC is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Remember the full form. Now what happens? Such work is carried out with competitive spirit only in some laboratories in the world. Now scientists, before collecting the reliable data on the new element, at times get tempted to claim for its discovery. For example, both Americans and Soviet scientists claimed credit for the discovery of element with atomic number 104. The Americans named it as Rutherfordium, whereas Soviets named it as Kurchatovium. To avoid such problems, the IUPAC has made recommendations that until the new element's discovery is proved and its name is officially recognized, a systematic nomenclature be derived directly from the atomic numbers of the element using the numerical roots of 0 and numbers 1 to 9. That is, it gave a way of naming. Table 3.4. Now this table is to be remembered to know the nomenclature and write the answers related to the IUPAC nomenclature, that is giving name of different elements. Now nomenclature means giving name. Now for digit 0 we have NIL, nil, and abbreviation is N. For digit 1 we write UN and abbreviation is U. 2 BI, B. 3 TRI, tri, T. 4 QUAD, abbreviation Q. 5 pent, P. 6 HEX, H. 7 SCPT, S. 8 OCT, O. 9 ENN, E. Now concentrate here a little. It's very easy to remember. Nil you know already is 0. For 1 you have UN. Bi means 2. Tri means 3. For 4 QUAD. You can remember the word quarter, etc. For remembering 4, that is QUAD is 4. Then penta means 5 you know, so PENT pent for 5. Hexa means 6, so HEX hex for 6. SCPT sept for 7. Oct, OCT oct for 8. And for 9 we have ENN. And similarly you can remember the first letters as a symbol, that is N, U, B, T, Q, P, H, S, O and E. Now if you have memorized table 3.4 with the trick, then you will be able to write the IUPAC nomenclature, that is name according to IUPAC nomenclature of any element with any atomic number. Let us take an example. 101 is the atomic number. So you can write down the IUPAC nomenclature as UN for 1, NIL for 0, and again UN for 1, and IUM is added at the end. So here we have the symbol U for 1, N for 0, and again U for 1. Similarly, you can write down for 102, 103, etc. Let us take one more example. Let us take 113. So here we have for 1 you have UN, for again 1 we have UN again, then for 3 we have TRI, that is tri, and UM. Okay, so here you can write down the symbol as UUT. Similarly, for 118 we can write UN for 1, UN for 1, and OCT for 8, and IUM. So the symbol will be UUO. Now their official names after they were discovered: Mendelevium, Nobelium, Lawrencium, Rutherfordium, Dubnium, Seaborgium, and further you can remember all the names and their IUPAC symbols. Thus, the new element first gets a temporary name with the symbol consisting of 3 letters. Later, permanent name and symbol are given by a vote of IUPAC representatives from each country. Now, let us discuss problem 3.1. That is a question from your textbook. Write down in your Fairnote book. What would be the IUPAC name and the symbol for the element with atomic number 120? Now we know we write the symbol U for 1, that is UN. For 2 we have B, the symbol, that is BI by. For 0 we have N, that is NIL. And further, when we give the name, we write UN, BI, NIL, and IUM is added. So this will be the name of the element, and the symbol will be UBN. So thank you for today, and meet you again in the next video.